We are 1 minute and 39 seconds before the start of this, the first game of the second day of 2018 Great Southern Slam. I am currently joined by no one, but I will be joined by Philistine at some point. It's hard getting up early in the second day, but if you're here and you're listening, that means you're up. So good on you wherever you are in the world. Now, of course, Canberra coming off an amazing victory against VRDL Queen Bees, the very first time VRDL has ever lost a single game at TGSS in the history of TGSS. Now, it wasn't the All-Stars, but it still is the Queen Bees. They train together, so it still counts. Canberra is looking fantastic at the moment. Of course, they've got a shortstop back from Gotham, and Slinger is looking absolutely awesome. And as a team, they are really, really awesome right now. So we're going to see them play up against Northside Rollers, who did lose against VRDL earlier on in the championships, but they're also looking quite good. Some people to look out for in Northside are Fizz Gig, the captain, a great jammer, and I'm really interested to see what's going on here. Suz Spender, also a fantastic a blocker for Northside. I'm going to quickly go through Northside if you're out there. 00 Duchess of Hazard, fantastic blocker. 11 Suspender, 119 Daywalker, 301 Fizzgig, 3892 Catitude, 47 Miss Reeve, 5 Sunny Onslaught, 76 Mad Pixie, 801 Aka Armoff, 83 Curly, 88 Mr. Bowler, 88-3 Venus Thigh Slap. We're straight off into this. And as quick as we start, shortstop is straight out the front and lead jammer in this very first jam against Northside Rollers. I'll go through the Canberra lineup in just a minute when less exciting things are going on, because right now it is time for some points on the board, and shortstop has got 5 to start it off. Slinger just indicating to the rest of her team that we're going to come in and help assist against the Northside Rollers there. If you're wondering where the star is for the Northside Rollers, then we are in the same boat. I've got no idea where it is. It's probably over there in the bench. I see somebody in the bench, but it's Mad Pixie. Mad Pixie, and she's got it in her hand. She started the game off in the bench. Maybe she's got some penalties from some other games that she's been part of. I think I missed that straight off the bat because I was too busy talking to you guys about things that weren't as important as Mad Pixie getting sent off. So she is now putting the helmet cover on her head as she gets called off. And shortstop calls it off. First blood goes to Canberra and 24 points. So I think what we are currently looking at here quite potentially in Canberra is a grand finalist. It's probably too early to tell at this juncture, but Canberra are looking fantastic this year and very strong competitors, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them in the big game at the end. We've got Curly up against someone in Canberra. But Harvey, Canberra. Whoever it is in Canberra, they are right up in the middle of the mix there. Curly coming around the outside, and they are trying to find that inside line, and I don't know if they can get there at this stage, having a lot of trouble with those front blockers. And we've got Freudian Slit, or Frood Dude, if you will, in the back of the pack of the Northside defence. Freudian has also been having a fantastic game. She had a really great game against VRDL, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some fantastic things out of her. Curly, big hit there from Slinger. But she's now through. They are now through, my apologies, and clear. So both of these jammers are through and clear, and Frood calls it off. A quick reset, and that was a 4-point jam to Canberra. Pretty hard with Canberra. I'm only going to do that a couple of times. It is early got to do whatever you can to get off the track. I tell you what, it was an exciting day one of TGSS yesterday, and set up for a great day today as well. We are straight off the bat here, and it looks like it might be Fizzgig. It is Fizzgig for Northside Rollers in the jamming position, and she is lead jammer. She's got a cut track, however, so she's going to make her way through the outside. And Lady Painicorn, or Corny, as you might see on the back of her jersey, is got the finger up for lead jammer. I think there might be a little bit of confusion. I don't know. I'm not a ref. Who knows these things? I'm going to leave it to the professionals in the white and black. I'm just going to call it as I see it. And Fizzgig's in the bin and Corky's out the front. That's how it is. Who knows who's lead? Corky's definitely getting the finger pointing at them. So, I'm Corny, sorry. Painted Corny. So I'm just going to go with the fact that they may be lead jammer. Fizzgig back in the action. Caught up behind Slinger. Amazing defense. She's down and getting back up. She finds the outside edge. Now that is her initial pass effectively. So 5 points for Lady Painicorn. And 10 points all up for Canberra. And Northside Death Stars still sitting on 0 at this stage. Northside Rollers, that's the north side of Melbourne. So this is effectively a Melbourne versus Canberra bout. And Canberra teams have been doing really quite well. We've got who we got on the jam line trying to come through there like a freight train. We're alternating again. That's 26.02. That's Killy Jean, who's not my lover. She's a skater who skates for Canberra. So Killy Jean around the outside edge, putting 5 points on the board. We've got the jammer for Northside still caught up in the middle and trying to break through at the moment, which is 8.83 Venus Thigh Slab. And now coming through, looking to put some points on the board for Northside, but getting called off just in the last minute. Great work there by Killy Jean, getting some unanswered points on the board, another 9 unanswered points. Now, I'm suspecting that Northside coming into this game knew that they were probably fighting an uphill battle. But I'm looking out there, first thing Sunday morning, and I'm seeing a lot of smiles. So, as far as I'm concerned, everyone's going to be coming out of this game a winner. Okay, it looks like we've got a Mad Pixie back there, and Fury. So, Fast and Furiosa. Mad Pixie, though, takes the lead jammer. She is a quick and versatile skater. We might be able to see Northside, and it looks like we're probably going to start to see Northside come. Oh, that was some fancy, weird, dripping pirouettes. And that was some really fancy action by Mad Pixie. It might not have yielded any fancy stuff, but it did look awesomely cool. So I hope you enjoyed that back at home. Fury, on the other hand, nothing deters her. They are awesome, cool, spangly shorts. There's one of those ones that goes up and down different ways and changes colours and whatnot. But more points on the board for Fury. As Fury is rocking up probably. Oh, bit of a stack there. Now, look, someone to look out for in Northside is 00 Duchess of Hazard. Duchess is a very prominent blocker for Northside and quite a big threat for those jammers. So Fury is now through Duchess again, and that's just Sunny Onslaught there, or just Sunny with the Duchess. So Fury's having a pretty good run of it. Mad Pixie's back here, gets a cut track straight out. That is unfortunate. Mad Pixie is one of the loveliest skaters. I'll tell you what, she's a really nice lady. And don't be fooled if you're watching Geelong as well over this weekend and you see a Mad Pixie. It's not the real Mad Pixie. It's a doppelganger, someone wearing the same shirt. Nice big hit there, but number 5, Sunny Onslaught, gives a bit of a spin around to Fury. Fury is caught up right in the middle of a whole bunch of Northside Death Stars and hits the deck. Forearm penalty, and that's going to Sunny Onslaught, who's now making her way through to the sin bin. And Stone Jet reforming just before the end of that whistle. So we've got the Death Stars with 4 points on the board and breaking that drought, which is fantastic. 8 minutes and a half into this game. We've got 70-4. You can probably see it on your screen. And somebody out there going, pew, pew, pew. You know what? Pew, 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 pew. So, looks like we have some people over there ready to skate. It's a weird position actually here for commentators because normally we get to see who the skaters are before they start, but now I can't see their back. So I'm going to have to guess or wait till they hit the first corner. We've got the North Star Jammer, who's Mad Pixie, in the bin for that cut track towards the end of the last jam. So we are going to start this next one with Canberra being the only jammer on the track. It looks like Lady Painicorn. I'm not as familiar with it. It's Corny. And they have taken the lead, and Canberra is now in charge of this, the minieth jam 6 of this game. Calling it off, Matt Pixie flying around that track, breakneck speed. Any points? No. But you know what? Kept Corny or Painicorn down to 2 points. So that's the importance of going around the track as quick as you can. Even if you don't think you're going to make it, you put the pressure on, you turn their points down, and that was a win as far as I'm looking at it for Mad Pixie. Okay, we've got, looks like Fizz Gig for Northside. No, it's not Fizz Gig. It is. It's 883 Venus Thigh Slap, who Achille Jean is making her way out. Not too sure. It was a cut track. So this is a really good opportunity now for Northside. She's looking over towards her bench, giving a bit of a nod, going, yep, all right, I've seen the jammer out. Now it's time to put some points on. The rest of her team coming in to give a good assist, reforming around Venus Thigh Slap, but she's making it through, putting points on the board. She gets nudged out on the inside edge. Going to try and have a look and see if she can get through there. 1975 Bohemian Rhapsody, or Bowie as they call her, an absolute powerhouse in the defense. And so holding back Venus Thigh Slap there just long enough to run down some of that clock and get the jammer back in, which is Killy Jean, who's now rejoined the team. Venus Thigh Slap, 4 points on the board. We're currently looking at a 9-0 jam, and they're going to want to grab those points, speed it up, and call it off. I'm suspecting I'm no as one. So she's got the 2. 1 point, but one in the bench. No. Okay. No. Okay. 10 points out of that jam. So 1 pass, but 1 in the bin. So as soon as you pass the jam, any blocker on the track, you get their points from anyone who's sitting in the sin bin. Fizz Gigs out there, looks like up against Freudian Slit. So Freudian Slit also just recently went over to Manchester for the Roller Derby Women's World Cup. Had a fantastic game and a fantastic tournament, in fact, representing Australia. So she's come back now, and she's been having a fantastic tournament here as well. Fizz Gig, on the other hand, has just dropped her helmet cover. Ham Sam, pew, pew, pew. I can see these typing things. If you want to type in some kind of chat thing, I can see it. I can't reach the keyboard, but I can see it and I can read it. I can read it and see it. And that is the jam. 2 points in the air for wristband white, which is Canberra. And we've got a 74-14. Death Stars getting back some points there, which is great, and 60 points. Bit of a conference here with the refs and the scorers. It's a perfect time to mention how great Adelaide is for hosting us, and Adelaide Showgrounds, what a great venue. Last time we came here to Adelaide Showgrounds, I would have been freezing my toes off at this time of day, but it is warm in here, and we are set for a nice warm weekend, and we are treated to a lovely venue. So thank you very much, Adelaide Showgrounds, for putting on another fantastic TGSS. We got the Duchess. We got a front line of Northside Rollers holding up against Fury. Fury gets tapped out on the inside by Duchess. She's now getting marginally pushed back in there by Bowie. 1975 Bohemian Rhapsody. And it looks like Venus Thigh Slap. No, it's not Venus Thigh Slap. That's Curly. Curly's trying to find their way through the back and some pretty heavy blockers. What we start to see, Canberra has a strong defensive line this tournament. We saw them shut down some very strong VRDL jammers. But Curly, they are through, and so is Fury. So they're both through for their initial pass. Fury's very well aware of where Curly is and calls it off before any points can make their way to the scoreboard. Lady Painicorn, looks like they are coming up for the jam against Northside, and who's over there? Looks like Mad Pixie from here. It is Mad Pixie. Bigger smile than she has face, I think. She's only little, but she is super, super quick and super smiley. Mad Pixie trying to find her way around the outside edge, but it's Lady Painicorn, and they are through the front and spinning around this track. And this is a standstill pack. Painicorn looking to find that inside line, does get remet with a whole bunch of Northside skaters, and they are right up in around her, creating that three wall. Canberra coming back to assist. Painicorn calling it. So apart from a bit of a runaway at the start from Canberra, they've caught up, and now Northside and Canberra are going fairly even. So they've managed to stop a large point of the Canberra fast points, and now they're sort of finding their ground a bit and evening this out. Fizzgig on the jam line. Let's see what she can do. Canberra is represented by somebody who just came right on in through the inside edge. That's Killy. That's Killy Jean. She's just a girl who said, "I am the one." Fizzgig coming around the outside edge. Killy is well aware of where she is, calls it off, and in time. She may have got 2 points, but she held Northside back to a 0. There is a lot of good things that come from holding teams down to 0. It's demoralising. You don't get any points, you skate around, you put in all that effort, and zilch. Wrecks you real good. So 84-15. We're halfway through this, the first half of the half. First half of the half. That means we're at a quarter. I'm pretty sure. We've got a team timeout. Canberra's going to have a little quick conference. Time enough for me to squeeze in a bit of a shout out to Rydell Skates. Good on them. I'm pretty sure that they've represented and sponsored every single TGSS. They're fantastic skates. They're certainly a name in skates that I have known since I've started, and I've been commentating for 9 years. And so Rydell Skates, a massive mainstay in the roller derby community, and good on them for building great skates consistently for like 1.5 billion years. So it's good to see so many teams represented here in TGSS. I think we've got 38, 48. I don't know. There's so many teams I can't even count with all my fingers and toes, even if I double up. So 40, 30 million. That's how many teams we're running. There's only 6 in Div 1. They've done a bit of a switch up this year. The All-Stars have decided not to come to sort of even out some competition, which I think is fantastic. And, you know, something about TGSS is really special. You don't see these people for 2 years. You rock up and it's like reigniting a friendship that you've forgotten that you had. Meanwhile, back on the track, shortstop whipping out the big guns and flying to the front of the pack. We've got Venus Thigh Slap for Northside. Slinger lets them go because they've got a cut track. And it is shortstop who is slinging their way around and putting some points on the board. So when you've got Slinger and Bowie on the track, and look, even Laser Station as well, you've got yourself a defensive lineup that is quite formidable and very, very pack-aware lineup as well. So they're coming in now to make some assistance, see if they can create some holes for shortstop, quite possibly the one person who doesn't actually need any holes made for them. Of course, coming back recently from Gotham to rejoin her home team in Canberra. I think it's fantastic, all this cross-team, cross-country collaboration sharing bizzo. It's really nice to go over to see a team over in the States with some of our Australian skaters, and it's even nicer to see them when they come home. So welcome back, shortstop, and welcome back to Canberra, and it's really, really a great thing to have everyone back in Canberra and fighting strong and seeing them represent themselves so fantastically here in TGSS. Shortstop piling on the points. 37 seconds left in this jam, and she's calling it. So we've got 24 points unanswered, which is going to hurt. 108 meets 15, and we are a quarter of the way into this match. So Northside are also no strangers to VRDL strategy. They train with VRDL every now and then, which is, we've seen Northside come up in meteoric rises in the recent years, and they're doing fantastically here now in Div 1. So Fast and Furiosa for Canberra. Hand up in the air, lead jammer. Now it's time to put on the points. Here they go. 5 points in the air. We got a forearms block going to Slinger. Slinger making their way through to the bench. The sin bin, my apology. Fast and Furiosa trying to get through those Suz, and that's not Duchess, it's number 5, Sunny Onslaught. So Mad Pixie has stashed and dashed and now has it on her head, and Furiosa is calling it over. A bit of a different strategy. We've got the pivot down there. I'm not too sure what you can see there. Behemoth Rhapsody. You're right. You're right, Amy. Behemoth Rhapsody. I get caught away because it's also in there. I get caught in with those names where they're trying to, it sort of sounds like something else, and all of a sudden I'm saying the thing I shouldn't say because it's the imitation of the thing. Behemoth Rhapsody. I'm just going to stick with Bowie. It's nice and easy, and then I get to use my Bowie voice. Who is this? Northside lead jammer, 83. Of course, it's Curly. Curly is calling it off, and they have put on, it looks like 8 points on the board. A great score there for Northside. Bowie's in space. You smoke AstroTurf in space, Bowie. Thanks, Amy. It's nice to be appreciated. All right, going into this Fizzgig lead jammer. This is certainly what she's looking for. Kelly Jean not too far behind her. Canberra now looking to reform. 1994, Kurt Cobain is on the side here. Kurt Cobain. The shirts, they roll up. Looks like Kurt. Well, not like Kurt looks now, because he looks very different to how he did it in his heyday. We've got a little bit of conference going on here with the rest. Hand up in the sky. That was a great jam there by the Death Stars. 4 unanswered points, certainly what they're going to look more of. And if they get another 50 or 60 of those, they're going to be sitting pretty. Mad Pixie, taking Fizzy's lead and going, you know what? lead jammer does sound like a great thing, and I think it's probably a really good position to be able to score from. Slinger has the jammer helmet cover thing in her hand, and doing great jobs to get to the front, but just not in time. Pixie is a little sore, but she's like, help me off because I don't want them to push me out for 3. She's a trooper, that Pixie. I hope she doesn't hurt herself because she is a lovely lady, and I don't want her to come out of this with the sore thing that takes ages to heal. So she's just going to have a bit of a sit down. They'll probably have a look and see what's going on there. But I guess they were looking to try, and she was probably trying not to get sent off for 3 jams, as does when you call off the jam for an injury. Venus thigh slap, lead jam. Meanwhile, back on the track, Lady Painicorn trying to make their way through on the outside. Last line of defense. Good work. 0-0. Now, I'm a little confused as to what happened there. It looks like it was called off, but guess is as good as mine. Probably better than mine because I was a little distracted. So 0-0, the score in the last jam. On the bench today, we've got the lovely Roxy Diehard. She told me earlier on that sometimes she gets confused for Bowie. So they walk around saying Bowie to Bowie. Oh, bit of a nudge. That's not what Killy was looking for. She's like, I think I've gone around the outside, in the inside edge here. Curly, on the other hand, is getting knocked out on the outside edge. So they're switching which side they want to leave the track. But I'm pretty sure their goal is to stay on the track, as has now been executed by Killy Jean, who's sliding around the outside looking to put some points on the board. Curly still stuck at the back. They are having a lot of trouble getting through that Canberra defence, and I'm not surprised with the likes of some fantastic skaters in there. Boudisha is in there and just done a fantastic star pass to the Duchess of Hazard. A key blocker, and I'm guessing a formidable jammer. Killy Jean is having a look around, though. She's calling it. Laser looked a little bit relieved there. Laser, Boudisha, Bowie, Stone Jet. The Canberra defence this year is looking so formidable, very, very pack aware, very, very track aware. And we're seeing some fantastic things from their side in a defensive manner. We also have what seems to be now an official timeout, or team timeout, to Canberra. Peter Harvey, Canberra. You're going to hear that a lot because I've got a bit of a thing for Peter Harvey. He's a very, very nice man, Peter Harvey. We are sitting on 123 Vice City Rollers up against the Death Stars on 29. 6 minutes, 23 seconds left in this half. We've got a stopped clock because it is a timeout. It's Onesie Sunday here, and there are many lovely onesies around. And I'm expecting to see many more lovely onesies around sometime through today. So if you are in the area, in the local Adelaide area, onesie it up. Come on down, buy yourself a ticket and watch a lot of really good roller derby. Lining up. Freudian Slit for Canberra. Up against Fizzgig for Northside Rollers. Freudian Slit looks at the outside. She's like, I'm not going to take that. It looks like a trap. Sometimes they leave that little gap there and they're like, come on, try and take the outside edge. We won't hit you out, I promise. And boom, all of a sudden you're out. Mad Pixie. Miss Ebola has it. She's got a cut track. I'm pretty sure she thought she didn't. She was pretty in the clear. I couldn't see. That's why we've got 1.5 billion refs to see every single wheel movement on the game. So Miss Ebola skating her way around the outside to the bench. this in bin. Freudian Slit is in charge of this jam right now. North side forming up, and 3 wall with a bit of a nice offensive blocker in Fizzgig. You know, they have done the star pass. I'm looking around for the pivot, and I can't see one on the north side. That means if you're looking around and you can't see a pivot cover, it means you probably are the pivot. It's like that age-old thing that 1 out of 5 people have mental illness, and if everyone around you isn't got a mental illness, then it's probably you. Freudian Slit trying to enter in the back. Come around the outside. Great jam there. Freudian Slit having a fantastic weekend so far, and I'm looking forward to some really great things as well from her in the rest of the competition. We could very well see another VRDL, CRDL face-off in the grand final as well, which would be very interesting considering they just played last night, and it was really close, flip-flopping around. And the jam is off. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in this. Fast and Furiosa comes around the outside. Lead jammer is given to her. Looks like we've got Curly at the back, and they are struggling to try and get through this very strong, very thick pack. It is Curly, just confirming that Duchess is smashing out Furiosa and making a back marker. Sneaky little helmet cover, pass or stash, or it is off the helmet. Either way, they're looking around. They're trying to suss it all out. Whereas the pivot is so far away, I think it's a bit of a. I think it was a bit of a bluff. Bit of a bluff. You can only pass that star through to the pivot. It's one of those rules. And Duchess was holding up the front. And that's a jam. So a 5-point jam to Zippola. Vice City, 140, Death Stars. Vice City, 145, 10-0. Death Stars, 29, 3 minutes, 34 seconds left in this half. You know, this is what happens when they don't stick me with another commentator. I get to say whatever I want for as long as I want. I feel like some guy's just been trapped in a room with a microphone and the world's best roller derby at their fingertips. So we've got Lady Painicorn over here trying to get through, and they have done it. Lady Painicorn, the lead jammer, quickly followed by Venus Thigh Slap, who only has a couple more blockers to get through, and they are through also. Lady Painicorn now looking to put some points on the board. The North Star defense quite strong. Corny calling it off. 3 points unanswered towards Canberra. They're keeping a very, very tight defensive game going still in this game and holding Northside to a relatively small score at this stage. Good on them. They're playing some great strategy and top work here so far. We've got only, I can't see the Canberra women, so there's a couple in the bench over there, including the pivot. So a little bit of an advantage here to Northside going into this next jam, as Duchess rejoins the pack and tries to separate the pack. Does so quite effectively. However, Shortstop takes advantage of the severe down of numbers and becomes the lead jammer. Meanwhile, Curly is now making their way around the second bend. Some Canberra skaters rejoin the pack, and Shortstop gets prepared to double tap her hips as she calls off the jam. So 1 minute and 41 seconds we have left in this half. It is early in the morning, so if you got up to watch this nice and early in the morning, you're probably a fan of Canberra or Northside, and good on you for getting up early on a Sunday morning. It's difficult, but it's worthwhile. I mean, sleeping is not as good as watching these games here today. Where are we? Who's up there? I know you want to know as much as I do. Looks like Fizzgid for Northside trying to make a way round Bowie. We also have Canberra Jammer. Killy Jean, 26.02. stuck right at the back here. Neither of these two jammers able to get through. Still undetermined who is the lead jammer. Still not around the second corner. Fizzgig trying to get in through the back. Killy Jean, one more defender to go through until she is lead jammer. Fizzgig, however, comes on in. It's to and fro, neck and neck, but it's Killy Jean who comes out of this with the lead jammer. I thought it was going to be Fizzgig. Fizzgig's now also through. Fizzgig, any points on the board? No, almost. You've got to try. You've got to really try and get those. 2 points on the board for Killy Jean. Almost some points for Fizzy. Fizzgig, if you haven't seen the Dark Crystal, it's Kira's little thing. Little fuzzball with more teeth and fur. It's teeth and fur. It's cute with big teeth. Fizzy. Suspender. Who is out there? Looks like Duchess is right up there. Fury and Furiosa. And ladies and gentlemen, that's halftime. So go and do what you got to. Make your morning brekkie. Make some scones. Make some toast and stuff. And come back here and we'll provide the jams. 37 seconds left before this game starts off. Edwina and Amy, if you're out there, stop yelling at your screens. Okay, it's not their fault that I've mispronounced a few names. But I'll do better. I'll do better. It's not your TV screen's fault, though. Don't take it out on your TV. Bowie to Bowie. Bohemian. You're probably like, come on. How hard is it? Behemoth. I got it. Behemoth. Makes you sound like that Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. Behemoth. She's not that big. She's reasonable. All right. So guess what? Second half's underway. And we're coming into this with 154 to 29. The teams have changed sides now, but the game remains the same. Lady Painicorn, lead jammer. They are well out front, and Fizzgig caught up there behind Bowie, or as she's affectionately known by words on a screen, Behemoth Rhapsody. I know, I totally did it again, Amy. It's hard work, this talky business. It's all right. Got it under control now, though. Here comes Duchess to the back of the pack. Lady Painicorn in, grabs the points, and then they call it off. 3 points to Canberra. See, what most people out there in the internet land world who listen to my voicey talk sometimes don't understand is that we get handed like a list of names and they're like, go, just go. And we're like, oh, it's Bob. Oh, no, it's not Bob, it's Boob. No, but right now we've got Venus Thigh Slap, lead jammer for Northside Rollers, followed by Killy Jean, who's pushing those Northside Rollers forward, and now she is through also. Venus Thigh Slap, well aware of the other jammer through the pack, and now going to grab these points and call it. If the hips get through, we'll have to see. Only 2 points for Northside, but 2 unanswered points, which means they're edging ever closer to their opponents. Rock and roll, fingers in the air. Looking at what we've got here. Fury and Furiosa. Northside trying to take that little bit of an edge there, and that was number 83, Curly. Curly tries to get through, is recycled, and now at the back of the pack again. Both these two jammers caught right up in the middle of the defense of the opposition. Fury and Furiosa only had Duchess to get through and has done, and is now lead jammer in this situation. Curly is still stuck there and now just making their way through. Furiosa, on the other hand, is putting points on the board as she's come around. So that's 5 in the sky for Furiosa. The helmet cover is switched hands. Duchess of Hazard now has it. A good, nice, very handy pass. Furiosa is, though, going, oh, no, we don't want any bar of this. Dun, 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 dun. The Death Stars. I really like, do you know what I like about Northside? They've taken Star Wars themes on, and I dig that. There's Rebel Alliance, there's the Northside. They get it underway. Looks like we have Lady Painicorn up on the jam line, doing a lot of jamming today for CRDL. It looks like they're deciding to rest a short stop, probably for a game later on. Who knows what the dealio is there, but Lady Painicorn certainly doing a lot more jamming in this game than we saw from them yesterday. Fizzgig, on the other hand, is through the pack as well. Painicorn messaging their team. Fizzgig is always right just before whistle blows. She's probably got like 25 pre-points, which are points that don't actually count because it gets called off just as you're about to get them. As they line up yet again. From here, it just looks like they're in a great big bear hug with each other, which would be very synonymous of the Derby community, very close, tight-knit community. Killy Jean pushing through the front, and Lee Jammer is given a multiplayer block, however, is going through to 119. Daywalker for Northside. 883 Venice Thigh Slap for Northside is the lead, is the jammer, but not the lead because that goes to Killy Jean, who's trying to put some points on the board now and calls it off before the Northside jammer can get through and put any points of on her own. Curly is donning the star once more, up against Fury and Furiosa. Fast and Furiosa. I'm guessing that Amy and Edwina, you're from Canberra. You're probably all sitting there every time I mistake. You're like, God damn it, how hard is it? Fast and Furiosa, or Fury as her shirt says, is almost through that front blocker of 801 Akaramov. Akaramov didn't Akaramov, because that's illegal. But Furiosa is on the back end, does a bit of an apex jump. Seems as though she may have got a forearms cut track. She got a cut track on that one. Who thought that? I didn't see that. Oh, another cut track going to Curly. So we can't have two jammers in the sin bin. When one comes in, the other one comes out. And the chair has come out with her. Sneaky chair. It reminds me of when Homer Simpson tried to get up and he had he was sitting there. Anyway, what's going on the track instead of things apart from flying is Fury and Fast and Furiosa. Furiosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Furiosa is putting some points on the board. And Curly is also right up in there, but they're having a lot of trouble with these Canberra blockers, lo and behold. 6-16 for Canberra as well. Has been having a great game today. Ruby Doom. Slinger in that 3-wall. Ruby Doom. All kinds of blocky goodness. Holding Curly at a standstill. I don't know if Curly's a borrowed skater. Good question though, Andrew. Maybe skating under a different name. Sometimes at big competitions, they skate under different names. Curly, 83, star of the helmet. Now, they weren't the lead jammer, but they're the only jammer. I think I might have missed a penalty going there and calling it. Probably quite smart, so they can start this next jam with a bit of jammer superiority. And they're going to put in some VTS. No, they're not. They're putting in Fizz Gig. So they're going to put in Venus Fly Slap. Venus Thigh Slap. It's early in the morning. This is why you have two commentators to keep each other honest. Fizz Gig. Gone through and lead jammer straight off the bat. Great work. Good offensive defense by Northside to make a little hole there for Fizz Gig. You don't have to make a very big hole for Fizz Gig. She is a little woman, but she is furious. Well, in a derby sense, she's lovely. The real Furious comes back on. Fast and Furiosa is back in there and has a helmet cover in her hand, which is totally allowed. You're allowed to go to there. No pass, no penalty given to her because who blocked her out, followed her out of bounds. Fizz Gig, 4 points. Canberra, nothing. All right, Andrew. You're keeping me honest. My companions are words on a screen. As they line up, Lady Painicorn, or Corny, as their shirt suggests. And Venus Thigh Slap. No, getting sent off for a hand down the front of the face thing. All right, keep me honest, people in the internet land. You can probably be like, well, that was that. Oh, well, we're getting a lot of Northsiders sliding off here. Daywalker finds a way to the tin bin. But it is all Lady Painicorn right now. And we are Northsider dropping like flies. Duchess back up on her feet, but a little ginger. Friend in high school is a little ginger. Pretty quiet without me there, isn't it? Okay, Lady Painicorn looking to put some more points on the board. Northside resisting, not resisting strong enough. Another 5 points on the board for Lady Painicorn. We have the Northside jammer out there. If you can't see the star on the helmet, that's probably because it's in someone's hand. Somebody, perhaps, like Venus Thigh Slab, who's now adorning the lovely green and black star. Painicorn calls it off. 4 more points to 1. Oh, 14 to 1. That's North. So, if you're looking at the scoreboard, it is Canberra on Vice City Rollers 194 meets Death Stars 40. 19 minutes left in this game. High block. Thanks, Andrew. If you're sitting there at home right now thinking, how come he doesn't know the signals if he's been commentating for 9 years? It's because I'm too busy talking to you guys to learn the rules. Gilly Jean, lead jammer. The jammer for North Star is somewhere in there. I think it's in Fizzgig's hand. However, their pivot is caught right up in the mix of things, trying to hold back the jammer. Fizzy on the outside, round the outside. Gilly Jean putting points on the board. No, it's all right. Pack reforming. Gilly Jean, good work. 5 points to Zibola. Curly back out on the track, up against Fast and Furiosa. Fast and Furiosa tries to sneak on the inside edge, realizes she's got to skate out, and then rejoins behind those who edged her out. Cops a bit of a hit from the butt of Daywalker, as Daywalker butts her out. No ifs and or buts. Well, you know what? There was a little butt there. So no ifs and ats. Anyways. 20.063 Fast and Furioso right in the middle of those north side jammers. Curly also right next to them. So neither of these two jammers have broken through to get lead jammer at this stage. We're still stuck on the first corner, yet to go around the second. And it's all coming up. Curls! Curly has made their way through to the front. Is now looking at the pack, thinking, how many points do I want? Fast and Furiosa stashes the star, gets back in, and now it is on the head once more. Call from the bench of Northside. Curly is very in tune, obviously, with the specific frequency of Cinnamon Whip, because they call it just as the call comes out. Cinnamon Whip, of course, the benchy for Northside Rollers. Also followed Australia and did a bit of benching on the World Cup scene. Bit of interesting tidbit of information. Lady Panicorn. No resistance. Lead jammer. Great work there. Venus thigh slap. A little bit of resistance. Not the lead jammer. But still through. Panicorn calling it off. Team timeout going to north side. So, what you doing out there in internet land? Watching the Derby on Sunday morning? Are you still in your PJs? I hope so. Sunday. Make yourself some pancakes, did you? Good. If you haven't got pancakes, make sure you get out into your kitchen, grab yourself some pancakes, and grab yourself a coffee. Something like that. Wake up. You've got a big day of Derby ahead of you. Have you guys ever heard of ASMR? It's that stuff where people whisper to you. They're like, hello, how are you? Are you having a nice day? That sort of business. So this, the team timeout, Cinnamon Whip's having a bit of a word, and Crash Mandicoot as well on the bench. So Cinnamon Whip, Crash Mandicoot, and that Bumpy Skate Princess, they're all in there helping out, having a bit of a word, bit of a pep talk, bit of a come on, get in there, shake it up a bit. Launching into this, Kelly Jean now. We're getting sent off. Miss Ree getting sent off. Kelly Jean lead jammer. Whereas the north side jammer looks like Curly is caught up behind a bunch. We got Slinger in there. A bunch of CRDL blockers doing a great job to hold back Curly. And the north side skaters trying to give her a bit of assist. At the same time, trying to keep an eye out for Killy. Killy's through. Time to refocus on helping their jammer. Couple of skaters rejoin the back, Misery, and 1:30 for Canberra, which is Kink Panther. Killy Jean, fancy footwork at the back of the track. Not able to break through the north side 3 wall. Do a good job at trying to push them around the track though, which is always good. It's good for building your core strength, pushing around 3 people around the track. And on the north side of things, can you see the star? I can't see the star. It's probably in someone's hand. It is in someone's hand. Curly's hand. We can say these things. If I was on the speaker mic, they would be like, you can't say that. The pass hasn't happened. But I can talk to you guys. It's okay. You guys can see. So Curly has passed the baton. Just in time to miss the bowler, to put it on her head and sit down. You know, I think that what they need is a helmet cover, shoehorns, some kind of quick release button. You know, sometimes I see them struggling. They're like, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to get on my helmet? And then it goes on wonky. And then all of a sudden they're skating around with a wonky helmet cover. It's not nice. Oh, straight through their Freudian slit, showing exactly why she's on Team Australia. Finding the inside edge multiplayer block being called on number 61. And so Bujisha's going to make her way through to the sin bin. Freudian Slit, on the other hand, is talking about points and putting him on the board. Oh. Then side slap. She's like, oh, I thought I was going to get some points this time. Except she doesn't talk like that. Death Stars 43 meets Vice City Rollers 228. 12 minutes left on this game. Looks like Fizz Gig and Furiosa. The two Fs, Fizz and Furious. And it is Furiosa at this stage who comes out and is lead jammer. Fizz Gig not too far behind and is through the pack. So Furiosa is going to be very well aware of that as she tries to get some points. And then she's up. And she's been sent off for a back block. So this means that Fizz Gig has now got some great time. Now, this is probably the first points they've got in a while. And 5 points, certainly. This might be what we're looking at here is a very good opportunity for Northside to get a nice high score. They're coming in to assist Fizz Gig there. Well, it's that thing. Do we try and keep Slinger away? Do we break in to try and break up the pack? Fizz Gig's like, not too sure, but let's all give it a whirl because I need to get through there and put some points on the board. Can't let me through. Now, Fizz Gig here for the Northside Rollers. She's a chiropractor. So when she breaks and falls and all her things get out of adjustment, she just fixes herself up. She's like, quick, crack, 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 crack. And then all of a sudden, she's back to good. Fizz Gig, another 5 points on the board. We're seeing what is probably the biggest jam in Northside's arsenal so far this game. Certainly by they're now putting on 14 points. This is certainly the largest jam that we've seen from Northside so far. So she's just going with what she got. Roller Derby is, of course, a game about momentum. And is that Furiosa not getting a cut track? She's just getting recycled to the back of the pack there. And Fizz Gig looking to put a few more points on the board. Furiosa having trouble. But another 3 points. Great work there by Fizz Gig. 17 points. So definitely the largest jam there for the Northside Rollers in this game to date. So an official review's been called by Northside. Now, I think what they're going to be looking for here is the cut track on Furiosa that I saw one of their skaters go, come on, wasn't that a cut track? And so I'm just taking a little bit of a leap here to say, you know what, I think that's what they're calling here. And if that does go their way, they're probably going to start this next jam with the only jammer. But there's a lot of ifs in that statement. They could be talking about something completely different because I never learned the rules. I'm getting some inside information over here on Curly. Jessica Hyde, thanks. Curly was a part of CRDL up until the end of last year, and she moved to Melbourne. Well, isn't that interesting? She's playing her old team. Playing CRDL at the TGSS. We're seeing a lot of that today. Not today. We're seeing a lot of that at TGSS. I saw Hellfire, who used to be part of Ballarat, playing against Ballarat yesterday. I always like to think that obviously every situation's different, but it's kind of nice to play against your old team. It's a bit of a one-up as well. You kind of know how they skate. You've probably skated against them a million times. So you've got a bit of an ace in the sleeve when you're playing against your old teammates. But Curly seems like a great addition here to Northside. It's great to have them. Just under 10 minutes left in this game. The official review is still underway. The refs are busy hacking it out. One day they will have the third umpire, I have no doubt. With all these cameras and whatnot and stuff, that they'll have little handheld iPads and they go, let's just go to the third umpire, and they're like, yep, all right, cool. Cinnamon Whip is out there getting the lowdown. So this year's after party at the Adelaide Showground is a hoedown with cowboys and cowgirls, and I don't think actual cows, but boys and girls, cowboys and girls. And so I've heard line dancing, a lot of boot scooting, that sort of bizzo. Not my cup of tea, but apparently all you need is a cowboy hat. So I think I can probably wrangle that, if not make one out of a newspaper, which are really hard to find these days because all the news is online. Official review, do you know what? They're still at it. Reviewing things officially. And official review person, ref man, official, is in a kilt, so it makes it much more official. Except it's a bit more like official. That's the worst Scottish accent ever. I apologise out there, the internet, for my terrible Scottish accent. Yeah, yeah. Bom, bom, bom. La, la, la. This is a long time. If you're sitting there going, are they still sorting it out? Then the answer is yes, yes, they are. There's lots of deliberations going on. And like, quite frankly, we could really use the break. You know, they shouldn't call them zebras, though, because zebras are quite known for their herd mentality. I just got the inside story from Dipsy Moo. And who wants to know? I got the inside story. They asked me to wait, but I know, and you guys don't know. Do you want to know now? Guess what's happening? Canberra's jammer is getting ejected. That's right. Fast and Furioso has just been ejected for an egregious back block in that last jam. After an official review, Fast and Furioso is now on the other side, skating around. She's been ejected. So, what we have here is Venus Thigh Slap, the lead jammer. Straight behind her, Lady Panicorn, who hasn't been ejected. Everyone else, they're all good to go. Venus Thigh Slap, looking to put some points on the board. North side, they're like, you know what? Let's put a point on the board. And they did. So just to recap, if you missed that, Fast and Furioso was ejected for an egregious back block a couple of jam and a half ago. After an official review, and they will keep their official review, north side, for the remainder of the game, which is 8 minutes and 57 seconds away. Fizz gig for Northside Rollers. Lead Jammer. Oh, no, cut track. Oh. I thought I was watching the skates then. It just goes to show sometimes eyeballs just fail you. 26.02, Killy Jean is the actual lead jammer, and that's for Canberra. So, Killy Jean putting some points on the board now. And there they are. So, that's all 5 points, including the 1 point for Fizzgig in the sin bin. For the cut track. We do not cut tracks at Chaos. Killy Jean looking to put some more points on the board. And there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10 unanswered points whilst Fizzgig was in the bin. Fizzgig is no longer in the bin. And because the cut track was on her initial pass, she'll have to make her initial pass all over again. Killy Jean at the back of the pack. Fizzgig somewhere in the middle. Yet to make her initial pass, I believe. Killy Jean, 4 points on the board. In a really quite a good position here as Northside Jammer is still unable to make the initial pass. So Killy Jean went for that little gap. It's a trick. It's a trap. Killy Jean, you went for the trick trap. Well, Kink just came flying out of that pack, closely followed by number 88, Mr. Bowler. So it was cut track there, going on Fizzgig again. She's not going to be happy about this, but I tell you who is going to be pretty happy about it, Killy Jean. And she's going to just keep putting on some points now with a bit of time. Calling it off a bit of strategy. Multiplayer block there just as this whistle blows, going to 801 Akaramov, who's now making way. So 2 Northsiders in Zibin. Looks like Slinger. She looked very tender. I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe out there in the internet world, you saw what happened there. She looks like she's in a lot of pain. So hopefully the medics, we've got some great medics here. Hopefully they can suss her out a bit. Now, again, it wasn't called off. I think trying to leave themselves some options, but the medic is now making their way around. So just going to make sure that Slinger's all right. Obviously, a very vital part of the Canberra defence and an amazing player. So we'll, hopefully Slinger's all good. And the medics are over there having a look now. So the refs and official timeout, I think, just while we have a look at what's going on and making sure that Slinger's okay. Freudian slit on the jam line. Slinger is an amazing player, actually. I was watching her last night, and the way that she has such great track awareness and such great pack awareness, she just is such a good pivot in controlling that that blocking squad, and a massive asset there to Canberra's defence. The official timeout is over, and Freudian slit lines up as the only jammer, as we have, as I said before, 2 Northsiders in the bin. Freudian slit through. Duchess put on a little bit of a chase, but then called it off. It is hard to stop her at the best of times, let alone at the blurst of times, which we're currently underway in, because we're 2 Northsiders down in a blursty point of view. Freudian slit. Fancy footwork, 5 points on the board. And Fizzgig is back on track, or should I say on track for the first time. Freudian, I don't know what she did. She just copped something to the ribs. I think might have done it to herself, Your Honour. But everyone's hurting over there. Canberra is hurting. Hopefully they're all right though, and just bruisey bruises and windy winds and not breaky breaks and teary tears. As you can tell, I have a medical degree. We have Curly on the jam line for Northside. We've got Lady Painicorn on the jam line, or in the jamming position for CRDL. Curly is now being recycled behind Bowie. Ruby, who's not Bowie. And Lady Painicorn is not the lead jammer. Good work there by Curly to call it off. Last thing they wanted was points coming through from Painted So kept that at a as nil all standstill, which is a great result. As Painted came through and didn't get lead jammer as they went through the front. So 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in this game. And we have Killy Jean up against Fizzgig. So Fizzgig's back out there. She's had a few penalties come through, so she's doing the right thing and making sure she's not getting cut track, but they're really making her pay for it and soul crushing her at the moment, which is making her skate all the way back to the back marker. Kelly Jean in the middle of a north side hug-off between Duchess and Saz, and it is a very formidable hug-off. And it's just Duchess now, but Kelly's able to skirt around through on the inside. And Duchess, however, is getting the cut. Is it a cut track? Oh, well, she's moving anyway. She's like, oh, well, gotta go. Been told. Fizzgig. Jammer. Whoa, many pre-points there for Fizzgig. Fizzgig is sitting on like 100 pre-points. The points you get when you don't get any points. 2 points there to Canberra. Binaharu Canberra. 272 on the scoreboard if you're counting at home. Versus 61. 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in this game. Oh, it's all kinds of business going on over here. Freudian Slit. Lead jammer. Probably going to come home strong in this game. She is quick around this track. So Northside are really going to want to capitalise on this. 88, Mr. Bowler is going to have to... No, it's not Venus, Mr. Bowler. It's Venus Thigh Slap. And she's going to get recycled there. She doesn't want to get a cut track, and she's very, very well aware of this. So she... and got a cut track. She wasn't sure what was going on. She's trying to avoid it and then got it anyway just as soon as she came back and was recycled. Frood Dude is looking to reapproach this scenario and hopefully get some more points on the board. But now she's got to get through both these two teams as the CRDL blockers come in to try and shake it up a little bit and make some room for Freudian Slit, and they do so. So 5 more points on the board for Frood Dude. Which I said this last night. I'm pretty sure she studies psychology of some kind, which would make sense. You know, Chop Chop, she's a chef. Food Dude, for Freudian Slit, I'm pretty sure is studying psychology. Or I'm just making that up because it sounds good. And Fizzgig is has a Bachelor of the Dark Crystal. If there was a Bachelor of the Dark Crystal, I would go and do it. All right, so we got Freudian Slit. 4 more fingers up in the air to indicate 4 more points on the board for her. She's having a great jam, sitting at 19 points so far. And going to try and put some more on. You know, while she's here. You know, while you're down to the shops, could you grab a milk and 5 more points? Thanks, Freudian. So we are wrapping in. We've got 50 seconds left on the period clock. We're probably going to squeeze in one more jam. 296 to Canberra and the Vice City Rollers to Death Star 61. And I'm guessing, if I was Canberra, I'd be like, come on, 300. It's weird fascination with getting around numbers. It is Painted Corn who's going to try and bring it on home. Duchess is very well aware of where Painted Corn's at. Painted Corn is lead jammer. We're about to run a period clock. So Painted Corn is probably going to try and get a little 4 points, maybe end on an even 3. But points differential matters. Having said that, Canberra have not lost a game in this competition. So I'm pretty sure that whatever they come out of this game with, they'll be sweet. And there's 4 points, 5 points That's 301, which is, weirdly enough, Fizzgig's number. And a little tiny little hop, step and a jump there from Lady Painicorn, and they have another 5 points on the board for Canberra. Period clock is out. 1 minute left on the jam clock. And it's just now gravy. It's all gravy now for CRDL and calling it off as it's a moot point. So all in all, good 14-point last jam for the Vice City Rollers. Thanks for tuning in this, the start first game of the Sunday, onesie Sunday. I'm going to quickly read out the Canberra Roller Derby League because we didn't have time at the start and they just won. So here we are. Number 0, Laser Station. Number 06, Shortstop. 1261, Slinger. 130, Kink Panther. 1337, Freudian Slit. 1921, Roxy Diehart is on the bench. 1975, Behemoth. Rhapsody. I say Behemoth. Rhapsody. Or Bowie. 1994, Hurt Cobain. 2063, Fast and Furiosa. 2602, Kelly Jean. 3108, Lady Painicorn. 411, Bambi Von Smasher. Number 61, Budisha. 616, Ruby Doom. 70, Stone Jet. 88, Very Bad. And Mushy, Overbearing, and Peter Henderson on the bench. Great job there from Canberra. Expect big things. I'm expecting to see them in the grand final. Join us for a great rest of the day. Join us for the great rest of the weekend. Goes over today and tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss a thing. I'm Chief Intent. Thanks for joining me early in the morning on a Sunday, and have a lovely day.